Well, this week we have Chattanooga State, who will be hosting Writers at Work with author George Singleton. So joining me are author George Singleton and from Chattanooga State as well, Erica. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you.
Okay, so tell me a little bit first about the Writers at Work events that happen through Chattanooga State.
Well, so this week we have a lot of events in the evening. Some of them are on campus tonight. We're starting off
Darn,
on
we didn't
campus,
get to
and
say a lot
Thursday
of
night we'll be on
important
campus.
things.
And we have events at the Hunter Museum as well.
No, we didn't say
it's all open and free to the
I didn't
public.
get to say any of the kids' activities.
Join us.
Okay, and now, George, is this the first time you've been able to be a part of this?
First time for this Writers at Work. I've been to Chattanooga a million times, it seems like. It's my favorite city.
I'm curious.
You're not just saying that, right?
No, you know, Pickle Barrel, if you got the Pickle
it's
Barrel in
good.
town, you know, there's nothing wrong with that town. You know, I'm in that Fellowship of Southern Writers, so I'm here every couple of years, and I've done book tours here since 2002, I think. So,
Okay,
yeah.
well, tell us about your career as an author. Tell us about, number one, what got you into the industry and what inspires you?
You know, I can't do anything else, and I'm stupid. And I wrote and wrote and wrote and wrote, and I'm hard-headed, so rejections just went, I don't care. And then maybe about 2001, my first book came out, and then a bunch happened, and a bunch of books came out. So mostly short story collections, a couple novels, and a book of writing advice.
Okay, so what has been your most recent release?
It's called Callus Town. It's they're kind of linked stories about families living in this crummy town in South Carolina that is an ex-cotton mill town. There are a bunch of those towns in South Carolina trying to reinvent their town. So the same kind of characters keep showing up in every story.
Okay, now for this particular Writers at Work, we're going to be talking about the half Mammals of Dixie, right?
Right,
Okay, so
right.
tell us about that, without giving it away, because we still want people to come,
Yeah.
of course, but can you give me a little bit of a
Yeah,
preview?
Half Mammals of Dixie is another linked collection of stories all taking place in a town called 45, South Carolina, which I've made up. Just regular people doing the best they can, and usually these are kind of funny stories. They're kind of comedic and with a tinge of tragedy, but mostly funny.
Well, you got to have the ups and downs, right?
I think so. You know, if it's all funny, it's kind of slapstick, and if it's all sad, I get sad, so I don't want to write those things.
Now, I've noticed a trend. You have several based in South Carolina. Is that where you're from, or why South Carolina?
I've lived in South Carolina since I was 7, and I was educated there, and I teach at a place called Wofford College in Spartanburg, South Carolina now. So I kind of just writing about what I know about, pretty much.
Okay, so the Writers at Work, how long have you been hosting these events?
Since 2012.
Okay.
And it's the best part of the whole year for me anyway. And you can find out more information at chatbigread.com. And we're so glad to have George here. Our students
happy
have
to be
really
here.
enjoyed his work.
Oh,
yeah,
perfect. Well,
absolutely.
What has inspired you to really bring these events to your students?
So many of our students, the works that they read are bad people. They have no connection to the authors. And so we like to show them people who are from the same places that they're from. And so they read their works and write about them and study them. And it gives them a greater connection to the works and shows them a different view of the South, because it's so often stereotyped. And so we get to show them a different view of that. And then they get to spend time with the author and learn about what it is like to be a writer at work, because they are writers as well as students. And so it helps them to connect more deeply to the literature, to the writing.
And George, what does it mean to you to be able to come into the events like this and be a mentor in many ways?
Well, and I'm excited about this, but I'm also leery, because if I were a college student and a writer came in and I had to write a term paper because of that guy, I would not be real happy about it. But so I'll try to lighten it up a little bit.
You give them some good firsthand knowledge.
Yeah, just say it's okay to know about reading and writing, and I'm not going to bite anybody.
Are you working on anything new right now?
I have a new book coming out in about 10 months.
Okay, perfect.
It's called Staff Picks. So then when you go into the bookstore and you see this book that says Staff Picks, you say, man, that must be a great book. The staff has picked it. So I don't have much else to do in South
Clever play
Carolina,
on
but
words.
make up those things, yeah. Yeah.
Okay, so where is the best place to, number one, get information on the Writers at Work event, to be able to come and hear a little bit more from you?
It's chatbigread.org. Everything is free and open. Anyone can come. Bring your mom and them. And we want everyone to come out and hang out with us this week. We have a lot of fun things going on.
Bring your mom and them.
Yeah.
And where can we get your works at? A little bit of everywhere?
I
Do
think
you have a
pretty
website?
much everywhere. No, I try to hide from everybody. So and I get yelled at it about it.
Starline books will be there
Perfect.
at all the
Yeah.
events.
And of course, the books will be
yeah.
available at the event, right?
Of course.
Perfect.
Absolutely.
All right. Well, George, thanks so much for
Thank you,
joining
Jess.
us. And
Thank you.
Erica, thanks for
Thank you for
joining us.
having
We
us.
look forward to your event. Again, that is coming up Tuesday, April 3rd, 6 p.m. at the Hunter Museum of American Art. So we will see you there. Thanks, guys.
Where's that snake? I want that snake.
No, please. It has left the building. I can calm down now. All right. We'll be right back on Let's Chat.